Okay, let's get back. Well, let's continue with where we have left. Now, Jomnindeki Sedande Barabjola, Dikiche Katzelto. Now Buddha instructs Subuti in this manner, saying these words, Rabjur, Jitsamdu, Tsen Pensum Sokpa, Ditsamdu Sinno. Now Buddha explicitly explains that to the extent there is a possession of those marks, major marks or minor marks, which we mistake it for divinity or spirituality, Ditsamdo Zinno, to that extent there's a falsity in it. For example, if I possess 20 marks out of 32, I'm 20 times I could be fallible. Likewise, Ditsamdo Zinno, Jitsamdu Chen Pinsum Sopa Mepa, Ditsamdu Mizinte. To the extent that there's no position of marks, to that extent, person won't go astray or wrong. So therefore, we have to be very careful about all these miracles, all those signs, all those clairvoyance, all those reading of future, this kind of things, which means reading of future means compressing the time. What will happen to you after 6 months? Suppose I know through my clairvoyance or all those things, I'm compressing the time. So, which means actually some other books also says, Sutra says, all these things could be some other invisible formless beings like goblin and all, which will possess especially those saints and speak as if they have clairvoyance, as if they know future, all those things. So one has to be very careful, the Buddha says. And of course we don't know whether these are the real words of Buddhas or not, but down the centuries people have been testing this, preserving this, analyzing this, and it was always, these sutras have always proven right. That's why we are believing that it has spoken by Buddha. So I for one will believe this sutra, the words of Buddhas, than those saints who says this is right, that is wrong, this is that, displaying miracles and all those. Because Buddha says, to that extent, Rabjur, Jitsamdu, Chen Pinsum Chopa, Ditsamdu Zinno. To that extent, person possesses those marks of so-called enlightenment. To that extent, that person would be fraud, a spiritual fraud. Jitsamdu Chen Pinsum Chopa Mepa, Ditsamdu Mizinte. To that extent, a person does not possess those so-called enlightened qualities. To that extent, the person is safe. The person won't be a fraudulent in nature. Well, data, the Jinshe Pa La Chendam Chenma Me Per Tao. Now, likewise, Tathagata should be seen as marks through no marks, because Jitsamdu Chen Pinsum Sopa Mepa, Ditsamdu Mizinte. So this is the safest way to see whether somebody is a Tathagat or not. Through no marks, S mark, not through those 32 marks or 82 minor marks as Tathagata. Dikiche Katselpadam, in these words, Buddha has instructed, Chomin de la Chedam de Barabjurgi, Dikiche Selto now Subute asks again Buddha, Chomin de Maungpe, Di Ngabje Tamala, Dampeche, Raptu Nampajipa Jurpana, Semchen, Kala la Dak di Tabido di Sikshepa Dagla Yandapar, Dushikepa Jurua, Junwa, Tachi Laksam. Well, these are very important questions. Now Subhuti asks, in the last epoch, in the last 500 years, why this last 500 years, everywhere we come across, Tama, Maungpe Ding Abjay Tama, Maungpe Ding Abjay Tama, all those things. Why Ding Abjay Tama? Because Buddha has said, when a Buddha embarks upon new religion, it survives for 2,500 years. So 2,500 years comprises 5 parts of 500, 2,500 years. Now, in the first 500 years, Dharma will be so dynamic, Buddha's words will be very lively. However, it will, for example, if I rotate this, it spins and the momentum goes down and it comes to standstill. So likewise, Every 500 years, Buddha said, after 500 years, the speed or the liveliness of Dharma will go down. And in the last 500 years, after that means towards 2500 years, the Dharma, good doctrine will completely come to a halt or collapse. So Subhuti is asking, so during the last epoch, in the last 500 years in future, will there be beings upon recited this sutra will understand what this sutra's meanings are? That means Subhuti has asked for us because this is exactly 2600 years running after the Buddha's parinirvana. So exactly whether people like us at this particular point of time would understand this Diamond Sutra or not. So Subhuti is asking that. So Chomnindeki Kachelpa. Now Buddha says, instructs Subhuti, Rabjur. Che dike du maupe di ngabje thamala dampe che raptu nampar jikpar jurna. Subhuti, during the last epoch when the good doctrine or Dharma completely collapsed, nampar jikpar raptu nampar jikpar jurpana, during that time, semchen gala la dak di tabi do di chik shepa dak la yandapar dushe kepar jurwa tachi laksam je chi diki mazirchi. Do not speak thus, Subhuti, whether people after 500 years during the last epoch would understand the verses of this sutra, this kind of sutra upon explained to them. Chi dike mazirchi, do not speak, Subhuti. Subhuti, Rabjur, maungpe di ngabje thamala, dampe che raptu napara jikpa jurwana. Subhuti, in the last 500 years, when this good doctrine comes to a complete halt, Jiangsu Sempa, Sempa Chempo, Sentimdang Depa, Yintendang Depa, Sherabdang Depa, Dang Junte. During those times, during this time, there will be a bodhisattvas who will be equipped with Setimdang Depa, with Vinayas, Yintendang Depa, with all knowledge, Sherabdang Depa, with packed with wisdom. Dak Junte means Dak means all those, this kind of people possessing this kind of qualities. Sentimda Dempa, Yendinda Dempa, Sherabda Dempa, full of vinayas, full of wisdom, full of knowledge. Those kind of people will be there, and exactly right. Now Diamond Sutra can be like seen in our mobile, online, even by a child. Now this is the era. During 1970s and 80s, President Ronald Reagan of the US, United States of America, only he could get access to this many information. Now a small child can hold a mobile and get access to all the information which only President Ronald Reagan used to have access during that time. And we have many technologies to get access to resources, translations, all those things. Even ordinary person like me, how I'm able to understand a little bit of Diamond Sutra like this, all because of access to information, translation, all those things. So that's how convenient this 21st century people are, Buddha has said. And Subhuti, do not speak thus. Do not think that you and I are the only fortunate beings. There will be a people who will be equipped with 250 Vinayas, who would be equipped with adequate knowledge, right knowledge, then wisdom. This kind of people will be there. Jiangsu Sempa Chempo, Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas during that time will be Setimdang Dempa, Yintendang Dempa, Sherabdang Dempa, Dak Junte, Rabjor, Jiangsu Sempa Chempo, Dedakchang, and Subhuti. Those Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas, Sangye Chila Nyenkuru Jepa Main. Not that they have paid respect or listened to only one Buddha. Sangye Chigla Gewetsawa Kepa Maingi. Not that they have planted the seat of merit, Gewetsawa, under the single Buddha. Rabjor Sangye Bunta Duma La Nyenku Jeshin. On the contrary, Subhuti, those Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas have planted their roots of merits under many thousands of Buddhas, paying respect to thousands and thousands of Buddhas. Sangye Bunta Dumala Gewetsawa Dak Kepe Jiangsu Sempa Chempo Dedak Jummo. During this time, Subhuti, in 21st century, there will be a Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas who would have planted their seed of root of merit, not just under single Buddha, but thousands of crores and crores of Buddhas. Dhamma means many, thousands of Buddhas. So those kind of Bodhisattvas will emerge. Jungo, Rabjor, Ganda di tabi do di tsikshepa dagla same. The one moment, because this is not so clear. This sutra is very old. Same chikcham is same depa chikcham nien para jur rap jurwa dedak dejinshik pe kento deni dejinshik pe kento subuti dos bodhisattvas. Just through us, depa chikcham, the serene fat, a single fat, with single fat generated through listening to this kind of sutras, those beings will be known to Tathagata. Known they will be to Tathagata. Dejinshek Kento. Rabjur Dedak ni Dejinshek Zigde. Seen they will be to the Tathagata Subhuti. That's what Buddha says. Rabjur Semjen Dedak Thamchen ni Sinamgi Pumpo Pakto Mepar Keching Yonsu Deeper Juro. Those beings will accumulate incalculable ship of merit. That's what Subhuti, Buddha says to Subhuti. Dichi Chirjina, why is that so? Subhuti, Rabjur, Changshu Sempa, Sempa Chenpo, Dedak ni, Daktu, Dushejuk para mi Jurjing, those beings, Subhuti, those Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas will never be identified with their self. Same thing to Dushepaya mind, even to the living beings, even to the soul, Soktu Dushepa Mayinte, Ganzaktu Dushepa Mayinte, not to even to a person they'll be identified. Jupar Mijurwe Chirro, those people will become like that, disidentified with the person, living being, soul. Rabjur, Jansu Sempa, Sempa Chenpo, Dedakchang, Chesu Dushepa, even to the phenomena, Che Mep, they will be identified with. Che Meparyam Dushe Mijukte means even to the non-dharma, they won't be identified with. Dedakni Dushe Dang, Dushe Meparyam Jupar Mijuro, they will not be identified with neither dharma nor non-dharma. Dechi Cherjana, why is that so? Subhuti, Rabjur, Gelte, Jachu Sempa, Sempa Chempo, Dedakni, Chesu, Dushe, Jugna, Deni, Dedagi, Daktuzin para Jurjing. If those bodhisattvas during that time, if they identified with all those phenomena, then they will be identified with their self, Daktuzin para Jurjing. Same Jentuzin para, then they will identified with the living being, then Soktuzin pa, then to the soul, Ganzaktuzin pa, Jurwa Chirro, they will get identified with the soul and human being. Then Gelte Che Dakme par Dushe Jugna Deni Dedak Gi Dakto Zin par Jurjing Semjendu Zinpadang Sokto Zinpadang Kanzakto Zinpar Jurwe Chirro. If in case they identified with all those living beings, person, soul, then they will be identified with the self. And again back to living beings, again back to then they will be in that vicious circle. The Chi Chirjana, why is that so? Rabjur, Chanchu Sempa, Che Chang, Lokpar Zumar, Mi Jate, Che Main Pa, Mi Zumwe, Chiro, those beings will not get identified with the phenomena and nor with the non-phenomena, dharma and non-dharma. Therefore, Dele Gonte, the Jinshek Pe, Cheki Namdang Di, Zing Tabur, Shepherd Namki, Che Nam Chang, Lawar Jana, Che Main Pa Nam, Tachimi, Jesun. So, therefore, now Buddha, through his divine mind, the Tathagata is said, this sutra should be treated like or the phenomena should be treated like a boat, just to cross the river, and once crossed, never getting identified or gratifying that this boat has saved my life or helped me cross river. Therefore, I should. There is a Zen story. 3 stupid Zen monks were carrying the boat because there was a flood and they could find one fisherman's boat and they saved their life. And out of gratitude, they were carrying that boat, same boat, throughout the city. And one wise man asked them, "Why are you doing this?" They said, "Had this not been for this boat, had it not been for this boat, we would have died. But you are carrying a burden, the burden has already gone. So likewise, we have to use the phenomena to understand, transcend beyond phenomena and non-phenomena. That's what Buddha says. Then if somebody can live like a boat, the phenomena part which is tangible, visible, let alone the non-phenomena part. Chi main nam tachi me jesum so. It's needless to say tachi me. Sorry. Now further, Buddha instructs Subhuti. Rabjor Diji Nyamdu said, "What do you think about this, Subhuti? Dijin shake pe gan lana me pa yanda pa zope jangshup to nyempra zopra sange pe che de gaya yenyamam. Do you think, Subhuti, there is any dharma taught by the Tathagata?" So actually these words, that's why he was called Shakya Thupa. Sorry. Thapke Shacha Thupa. Thapke. Buddha was called a highly divisive master because he used all these things as excuse to indicate to something. Something indicative. These words are not a truth per se, but just an indicator. That's why he's asking Subhuti, did Tathagata teach any dharma whatsoever? Then then did Tathagata teach any truth or discourses or something? This in this manner, Subhuti was instructed. Chomden de la Tsedon de Barabjurgi, Dikeche, Selto now Subhuti answers back Buddha. Chomden de Dagi, Chomden de ki Sumpe Ninsen Watarna. If I have correctly understood or in accordance with what I have heard from Gautam Buddha, Ninsen Latarna, Dejin Shepe. So there's nothing that Buddha has taught, something unsurpassable. Very pure. Means complete enlightenment. So this kind of, to attain this kind of state, a dharma, nothing of that sort of dharma has been taught or said by Buddha. Dijin shake pe ten pe che de gaya machila so Tathagata has never taught any dharma. Diji ledusana, why is that so? Dijin shake pe che de gaya never zok para sange pa am ten pa dine zundu machi pa jedu machi pa te, means because whatsoever Tathagata has taught cannot be comprehended, cannot be expressed. Therefore, in a deeper sense, nothing has been taught or nothing has been said. So we shall continue next.